What's going on, Forge Nation? I'm with John from Advanced Fiberglass. What are we going to do to this beast, and what's going on in the world of Advanced Fiberglass?
So we're going to swap it out. We're not going to do the 2-inch this time. We're going to do the 5-inch. 5-inch fenders. We'll do our fender liners that are custom for our kit as well. Keep that in mind if you guys do our 2-inch, 5-inch, or our upcoming 8-inch. We have liners for all of those. So 5-inch front, 5-inch rear. We will do our ram air hood as well, so it's going to completely transform the look of this Bronco.
This is
5 inches.
5 inches,
Yeah,
so it basically matches that look.
Yeah, it'll match this width. And the reason we did that is so many customers are complaining about this exact style.
Yeah.
They don't like it. This plastic flare looks super boring. So
And don't get me started on the Raptor setup.
No, it's
on the
like
Bronco.
7 or 8 inches wider, and it looks so funky.
Doesn't look good.
Yeah,
it doesn't look good.
Not for me.
Yeah, good opportunity for Advanced Fiberglass. So let's say hypothetically, brand new Raptor comes on the scene. What's the first process? How do you guys go from that to actually having a product on market?
There's 2 different ways to start. The first way is either we get the geometry from Ford, which is very tough, or we scan the 3D scan the vehicle. So it'll come in, we'll decide what needs to be 3D scanned. Usually the entire vehicle needs to be 3D scanned, and then panels need to be pulled off the truck and then scanned again so we can get all the mounting sections. So for example, the fender, you have the hood line, door line, headlight, and a balance section as well. And then don't forget the liner too. So we'll scan all of that. The part that sucks for us is that when you scan it, it's just a million of triangles basically. It's a mesh data. So you can't use that for what we needed to. So we have to convert all the data to what's called working NURBS. This is nerd talk. It's NURBS. That's working bodies. We use that, and then my designer will then take it. We'll come up with our idea of what we want it to look like, and he'll then design it. We'll go back and forth through a few revisions. After that, we use our foam, which is in the corner right there. That's 28-pound foam and 38-pound foam. We'll CNC program it, throw it on the machine. Once it's finished on the machine, it comes off, lightly sanded, primered, released, mold is made, and then we prep the mold for production, wet sand it. Yeah, there's a lot. It's not an easy process. People think we can just snap our fingers and have it. But
that's one of the first things I noticed when we started working with you is it's not like, oh yeah, you just put it into a mold, do a little press, and here you go.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is a lot of work that goes into it.
It's labor intensive, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, let's check it out. Let's see the facility. All right, so this is right after you guys do the design, the CNC machine comes out.
Exactly, yeah. So basically it'll start on the machine as a block like this over here.
Yeah.
So I give my team basically a drawing with dimensions. They'll then cut the foam on our CNC saw, set it all up, glue it together with the clamps, the wood, everything to keep it nice and straight.
Yeah.
After that process, it gets thrown on the machine to get the part made. So this one in particular is for the Scuderia Cameron Glickenhaus project. It's actually going to be a rear fender for their vehicle. So the way that we do it is throw it on, pull it off, and then you can see over here, right now our guy is sanding the plug. He just does a light sand to it. And the reason that we do a light sand to it is because this is already 38-pound foam. It's really, really dense. So, I mean, you can hit it and you can feel how hard it is. Yeah, so you can take a hammer, hit this, and it'll barely dent it. And the reason we do that is it holds the tolerances better. There's no guesswork.
Yeah.
If a lot of companies will use EPS foam or 3 to 5 pound foam, and the problem with that is you look at it and you dent it.
Yeah.
Like it's garbage. So this is a lot more expensive, but in turn you get a lot better of a product.
How often are you reusing molds too? Is this like you create one master and that is what you create everything off of?
Yeah, so this is technically the master, the plug, whatever you want to call it, the buck.
Yeah.
And we basically will make the mold off of this, and 95% of the time, this is just trash. You can use it again if you want, but we usually only need to create one set of molds because we can produce as many parts as we want in that one set of molds. If you need more parts than normal, then 2, 3, 4, 5 molds makes sense.
Yeah. So and after like, let's say Gen 2 Raptors now, that's probably going to sell for a little bit longer, but then when that model is done selling, do you guys just trash the molds or you keep them around and store
Keep them around.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as the number of the units still sell what we need them to sell by, then we keep the molds. If they don't sell a lot, we discontinue it. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, makes sense. That's right. So this is
for the
one-off, like
It's going to be a production car. So this is also for Scuderia Cameron Glickenhaus. Their 008, which is bitchin'. It's going to be a kit car. So you buy all the parts, and then you can put it together in your garage, or you can have Armada Engineering or Glickenhaus put it together as well. So it's really nice.
That's super rad.
It takes their supercar design and puts a spin on it for like a Paris to Dakar off-road style.
Yeah. So after the mold is done, sand it down, get it looking nice and pretty, and then where do we go?
So yeah, basically what happens is this mold's all finished up over here. This is the rough side, so you don't see the back side, but it gets polished, wet sanded, and then basically we prep it for production. So this one in general is ready for production right now. We just added inserts. That way it makes it easier to pull the parts from. But once you flip it over, you can see you can gel coat it and then just go to town. This part or model sits inside of this right now.
Wow.
But then I throw it on the machine.
Yeah.
It takes all the tool bits, which are parked in the corner over there, and then it carves out the shape till it's done. It's super cool.
That's super rad.
Because these ones right here, we're literally just a block of foam that sits probably like this.
Yeah.
By that. And then it does this entire shape.
And then the actual fiberglass laying, that's all done by hand here. Lay each layer one at a time, build it up, and then...
And I'll show you guys that in the back. We can go right there. Right
yeah,
now
let's check it out.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
So we do 2 different gel coat times, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And it's a 2-stage gel coat. So we spray white as a first base layer and gray as a second layer. That way when you pull the part from the mold, you can't see through the part.
Yeah.
A lot of manufacturers take the cheaper route and spray 1 stage, but if you hold the part to the sun and look through it, you can actually see directly through the part. Wow. So it looks funky.
Yeah.
So you can see right over here right now, our guys are cleaning up the edges of the mold, and he's actually pulling the flange off the bedside right now. So it looks aggressive when you pull the flange off, it's just how it is. You pop it off, pull it out. Next step would be pulling the bedside out of the mold as well.
Nice. So after it, so this is almost the before it goes into there.
Correct. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So they lay it up behind us right here. It sits in the corner over here. It fully cures at least overnight, normally 24 hours at minimum.
Yeah.
And then once it's fully cured, exactly what he's doing, he's cleaning the mold. He's gonna pop the bedside out up next, and then it goes directly into the grinding room.
Where do they actually do the laying of the fiberglass?
Right here.
Okay. Oh, nice. Duh.
So half my team's on lunch right now. That's why we only have 2 guys currently laying up parts. But the process is the gel coat sits in the mold, like you can see the one in the corner over there. After it's cured as well, they come here, they measure each mold specifically for that mold. They'll go to the material table, they'll cut the material to the exact specs that we need it, and then they do our layup schedule. So we use a blend of resins, one flexible, one stiff. That way we get that perfect flexibility and strength that we want. And then they use our normal layup as well, which is what we've used for the last 25 years, and it works very, very well.
Wow. I love it. So that's...
This is actually a project for TRD.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Carbon fiber?
Yep. Yeah.
Do you guys do custom work?
Yep.
A lot, or is it?
We do a good amount, yeah.
Yeah.
The way we look at it too is we got to make sure it makes sense for us.
Yeah.
Do we make more money on our product line, or do we make enough money on the custom stuff? So we kind of weigh out the pros and cons.
Yeah.
We like to do custom work. It's fun. It's different. So. And then this is going to be the grinding room as well. So you can see we got even more parts in here. We keep normally just fenders in here as well. They're smaller. They take up a lot of room as well. So
yeah.
Our guys are going on lunch right now, so I only got 1 guy here currently. But what happens is parts gel coated, parts laid up, it cures in the mold, it's pulled from the mold, comes in here, it gets ground down, gets through QC, and then gets shipped out or picked up. So,
got it.
Yep.
So you can tell, like any fiberglass, you have the resin kind of spills over on the sides. They have to clean all that up, soften it up so that it'll actually fit your part. Like how accurate are you guys going, and like what's your quality control process on?
So our quality control is pretty good because you can see right here, the part sits right at that line right there. So we never grind past that line. We simply just take away the flaking, and then you basically paint the part, apply Bondo if it needs it to any of the void spots, and then ship it out. So we're known for our quality. The machine helps out a lot. It's the machine's 0.003 inches to 0.005 inches. So it's like perfect.
Yeah.
Like you can't get better than that. After it comes from the machine to our part, same thing. We're very, very particular. Like I'm really OCD about stuff, and I want to make sure my lines are as straight as possible. So, yeah.
Well, and you may have seen with like other fiberglass companies that aren't made in America, that don't have that quality control, that like the company is based in America, but everything's done overseas. The part comes back in after 4 or 5 years, you notice warping, or the paint doesn't match it, or the paint doesn't sit on it correctly, or the lines are off. So that's good, and why we always wanted to work with you guys.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest thing I tell all my customers, you're spending more money with us up front, but in the long run, you're spending less because our parts fit better out of the box and they're easier to work with. Our competition, you pay less up front, but you pay a lot more in the long run for better, to get the fitment correct. So,
yeah, 100% agree. Dude, that is awesome. Made in America, start to finish, done in-house here in Costa Mesa, California. Even with all our EPA laws and everything, you guys are still getting it done and 100% compliant. I love it. I'm excited to see what the Bronco is going to look like with those 5-inch fender flares, ram air hood. We are going to paint, match it, wrap it in PPF, make it look super awesome, and showcase it at SEMA. John, I think there's only one thing left to do. It's
our part.
Get, the hard part. Actually, do the work.
Yeah, we'll get it done. It'll look awesome.
Go to advfiberglass.com to check out the full product offering. These guys are crushing it. We're gonna keep on working with them in the future. No matter what make or model vehicle you have, I'm sure they have a product that will fit perfectly. I'm gonna go eat some burritos.